creating this platform, I've done a lot in a short space of time. When I say short space of time, it's been about 4 to 5 years, which is still a kind of relatively short, but I've been able to cover and do quite a lot of things in that space. And the reason is because I'm very disciplined with my time. Do you understand? So I'm not out raving. I'm not out socializing. I don't really socialize, and I kind of like cut a lot of things out and I put myself in a box, whereas it's very difficult to reach me. Like I would only reach out to someone only if there's something that there's a way that I can see that we could partner up or do something. But if that's not the case, then I'm sorry, I've got too many things that I'm doing. Because I actually take this, it's a very passionate thing for me. So I take it very seriously in terms of like the amount of time that I allow people to access from me. Now, I find it difficult to express or to let people know what I'm doing because I've been boxed out for so long. Like, and I was saying to you, like the Barclays HQ, the lady, one of my friends, she told me to do it. She was like, listen, you have to be there. I'm like, yo, I don't want to do it, man. Like, very nervous. Just like today, the nerves was kicking in. I was like, oh, what about if I say the wrong thing? What about if it goes like this? What? I was like, nah. But then when I got on stage and I started speaking, I was like, you know what, it's not too difficult. It took me a while to kind of adjust, but then But now I've seen that I actually need to be out there to speak about the journey, to speak about what I'm doing. I can't be in the background as much as I used to, even though when I'm in the background, it allows me to do more because I don't really care about, or I'm not putting myself out. So the perceptions people might have of me doesn't really, do you understand? Like, it doesn't really matter to me, So I'm just like focused on my thing. But then now I understand that I have to be out there because I'm actually inspiring people. Like I was out yesterday with the jackets. Bro, we took these jackets just like this, Oxford Circus, walking through Oxford Circus with the jackets. And people were stopping. We actually made a couple of sales, funny enough. And we're just stopping and just talking to people. Like, hey, yo, look, we've got a new jacket. What do you think? Would you wear it? Why wouldn't you wear it? Since you're telling me why you wouldn't wear it, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should wear it. Because it's got these symbols that represent something that you might not know of. Do you understand? So now I'm putting myself out there and I'm like, I think it's time and I think I'm ready for it, which is another reason why we're doing this thing that we're putting together now. So it's all about just inspiring. It's all about just giving back to the community however you can. Just me having this speaking to you now, being on camera, you don't know who's going to be watching it, and that person might inspire that person to actually want to do something greater, or they might see something that I'm lacking and they might contact me and be like, yo, look, you might want to do it like this or you might want to do it like that. It might even get me investments, which is something that I've been looking for so long. It's kind of like I don't really see it. It's more so people just kind of like, all right, cool, we'll give you this amount of money and this is what we want in return. And that's not the type of investment that I'm after, unfortunately, because what I'm doing is far more deeper than money. Like I'm dealing with people, I'm dealing with energy, man, high vibrational stuff in it. Like the currency is the people, man. Do you get me? Like in terms of, not in a negative way, but the currency is the love, man. The passion and the ideas and the, the information. Do you get me? Like the things you give back to people, that's the real currency. So I'm not trying to just take a lot of money from someone and, or I'm talking too much, but I'm just going for it. Innit? Do you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm not saying nothing. I'm just nodding.
Yeah. But you got me talking now. I can't stop.
Literally, half of me is like, okay. Half of me is like, okay, this is good. This is good for the shot. And half of me is like, I'm invested in the conversation. So
Yeah.
keep going, bro. Keep
So
going.
now, yeah, man. So that's literally it, bro. So yeah, man. It's all about the people. It's all about connecting. It's all about building bridges. It's all about getting yourself out there. We're in a time that social media, you need to be out there, man. TikTok, I don't even use TikTok, bro. I'm like, what the heck is TikTok? Like, do you know what I'm saying? It took me a while just to get on Instagram, and I keep deleting my pic. The funny thing is, I'm on Instagram now, like, but I'll go on there and I'm like, why am I even on this platform? Like, I just delete it. Or I'll put something up and I'll delete it like 2 seconds afterwards, like bare anxiety. And that's one of the reasons that I feel that it's like, for me, I understand the reason that we have to be on there, but I would prefer not to because it just takes my mind away from all of that wasting time, and thinking about how people actually see you and how people perceive you. And I'm putting all of that energy and time into creating things like this that's actually going to make a change in our community. It started in my bedroom, do you know, in my bedroom in Hornsey. So I grew up in North London. I grew up in an area, Hornsey, Tottenham, Wood Green. These were all of like the areas that I was in. And I went to a really bad school. I went to one of them schools that it's just like we were set up to fail, to be honest. Do you know? And it's only when you grow up that you kind of realize. I had a conversation with some of my friends the other day, and we were just speaking about how far we've come and some of the things that we've dodged on the way without even knowing. Do you know, like it's very traumatic stuff like people are going out, like that are involved in and that are seeing out there. Do you know, I remember like being young and just seeing like people being stabbed, someone with an axe in his head, like begging for help, and we just walked past. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like shootings, people dying. Like there was a lot of that growing up. So me, I'm having my conversation with some of my friends. I'm like, right, you know what? We actually come a long way to where we are now. Like we've seen a lot of things, a lot of traumatic things, bro. Do you know? And it's like we was able to dodge or to navigate ourselves away from that, even though that people that we knew and that we was really close with was involved in all of that, we were still able to kind of like to get through without being tainted. Do you understand? So that's a blessing. That's something that we couldn't have seen at that time. We was going out at 2 a.m, just like being in the blocks where anything could have happened, but not thinking about it. It wasn't a dangerous thing to us. It's only now that you have kids, you're like, Raj, you know what? I will never do that again. Like, I will never like be on those type of like situations. Do you understand? But when you're young, like there's no sort of danger doesn't exist to you in it. So it's only when you get older and you're having these conversations and you just understand that it's not by your own doing. There's a higher intelligence that's actually guiding us, navigating us. Get me? You could wake up one day and be like, you know what? Today, I plan to go to work and I plan to come back at 6 o'clock. But your day just might not go like that. You might step out your doorstep and just like a ricochet bullet might hit you, or you might get run over. Do you understand? So it's not really you can have things in plans, but then what I'm trying to say is that it's the higher energy, the higher source or the higher intelligence or God, to whatever you might know it as, has got a plan or has got a setting for you. Do you get me? So that's like, yeah, that's just how I see it in terms of that's just how I see it in terms of how I got here. It wasn't something that I planned. You know, I just knew that I wanted to teach. I wanted to show the people about Africa. I feel that Africa's been misrepresented a lot of the time in the media. And a lot of the media, these media platforms, we've got nothing to do with them. You don't really see people like us in these media platforms, like your cameraman. Like you can mostly do the things that some of the cameramen in BBC can do, like, or even better in terms of editing and whatnot, but they won't give you that opportunity, bro. So you have to now go out and create that type of opportunity for yourself. So that's what I kind of saw from a young age. Like growing up, I've always liked film. My boys, they've always liked filming, like, but we just didn't know. Remember, this is in the 90s. We didn't know anyone that was involved in film. It's not like today where everyone's got cameras, like cheap cameras, like not cheap camera, but you get a decent camera for 2 grand. Back then, the cameras was like massive, bruv. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, they were like massive, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where would you even look for that? The only place you could look is on a loot. I don't know if you remember the loot. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm showing my age, man. Like, you have to look up on the loot to see if anyone's selling those type of cameras, but no one was selling those cameras back then. So we didn't have no link. We knew we loved filming, but we didn't know how to access. There was no access in it. Do you understand? So we kind of just done what we had to do. Do you know? But yeah, man, it's all love though. Like I'm just appreciating where I am. I'm appreciating the people that I'm meeting, like meeting people like yourself. I'm appreciating the connections that I've been making, the people that's in Kenya, the guy that sorts out our socials. He's based in Kenya. So that's another thing about the platform is that we actually invest back into the youth in Africa. We got a guy called Osman Toure. We actually fundraised to get some money to him so that he could get into university and do the course that he wanted to do. And we done that through our platform, do you know? Walter, a guy that works for us in Kenya, he does all of the social media. We've got a guy in Kenya, said Kenya already. We've got a guy in Ghana, Macfield Images, I think they're called. They do a lot of the photo shoots, a lot of the street interviews. We've got a link that just recently, a guy just reached out to us from Jamaica and he wants to start doing the same thing as well. So we're actually paying people that's out there, the youth. We're actually investing back in the youth that's in Africa and in Jamaica with this guy as well. And we're trying to get them to tell us authentic stories of what's happening in the black communities out there. Because these are things that we're not going to get on the BBC. Do you understand? The BBC want to tell us some of the negative stuff to keep us away from Africa whilst they're taking our resources. Do you understand? But there's a lot more things that's happening out there. So my thing is like, someone that's in his bedroom, I was like, Raj, you know what? Fuck the BBC, man. I could do this myself. To relax and watch this film, bro. Because that film gave me like so much insight. Do you understand? Because in that film, it shows you that, raw, we actually are in the front line, bro. And when you're in the front line, you get the authentic, you get the realness. Do you understand? The guy that was in that film, he lived in the favelas. Do you understand? So he was just telling these stories, but it's dope how they've done it. It's like he's telling like about 4 to 5 different stories at the same time. But his story was the most important story to me because it resonated to me at the time because I was in his place. Whereas I've got people I've went to school with that's involved in all types of criminal activities in North London, like straight standard. Do you understand? And I was one of them ones that I knew everyone. I was very neutral, but it's like there were things that was, for that guy in the film, he had his camera. For me, it was art and design. I love drawing, I like writing, I write a lot of poetry as well. So that kind of like, all right, cool, I know what you men are doing outside, but I like my poetry though, and I couldn't even tell man that I was writing poetry, like, because they're like, "Bro, what the fuck are you doing, like, rhyming words?" Do you know what I'm saying? But for him, it's like being able to take those type of pictures with his camera. One of the journalists saw the pictures and they were like, "Bro, how come he's able to capture this? Journalists ain't allowed to go in that neighborhood." Do you understand? So they harnessed on him. They were like, "Yo, you go in there and you take the pictures for us and you come out and you give us the pictures and you let us know exactly what's happening in there." So that's how I kind of see it in terms of dealing with people that's in certain parts of Africa or in a hood. Do you understand? Like, we're getting like the realness, like what is actually happening. Whereas in BBC, they're not doing that. They're just getting like a coverage, like a overviewing coverage. But then people like yours, it's kind of like a simplified, watered down version of the truth. And they don't really care. They're just kind of, cool, man, let's just put it out. Exactly. Exactly. So they don't really want to go into like the cracks and stuff. But then with myself, with you, with some of the brothers that's out there, bro, they are in a community every single day. They'll let you know this is what's happening. Do you understand? And people resonate with that. Do you understand? So with Africa X5, when I started doing that, started putting out content, connecting with people, and they're sending content to me. When I started, a lot of content was the people actually sending it to us, like, put this up, put this up, put this up. So I was like, right, you know what? I might as well start branding this. So I started putting my logo on it here and there, reposting it, basically just curating content that people were sending to me. So that's what I was just doing. And from doing that, the platform obviously slowly just started growing, you know. And then from there, we wasn't even making money, bro. Like for the first 4 years, like I only just started seeing something from the platform like last year. Like it was just a pure passion project. Do you understand? And it's only speaking to people, they're like, right, you know what, your platform's got this amount of audience, how come you're not actually monetizing it? But monetizing it wasn't something that was in my mind, do you know? But it's only just recently that I had a conversation, obviously now understanding the business side of stuff a lot more, which was something I didn't really understand at that particular time. Or I understood business, but I just didn't understand how to monetize a platform that was for the people. So yeah, so with myself, over the last few years, to be honest, I've neglected my health a lot, you know, and I think it's just been a thing. Whereas I've been so passionate on what I'm working on, I've been so passionate on the platform on Africa X5 that I haven't been focusing on myself as much. I've kind of neglected my temple, if that makes sense, you know. Right. But yeah, that's what I've been diagnosed with, and I've been told that the right side of my heart walls, or the right ventricle, something like this, the upper right chamber, sorry, is not beating as at 100%. So it's not beating at a full rate that it's supposed to be beating. So that might be the reason that recently I've been having like digestive issues as well. So it's just been a lot that's been happening on my side, which is sometimes people don't really see what you're going through. They don't really see, like, do you understand? They don't really like see all of this. Like, they just see the platform and see all of that, but they don't really, so yeah, man. So that's what I've been dealing with. So more so, it's a thing. Whereas, and I would like to just let anyone that's watching to know that your body is the most important. It's one of the most important thing. Your health is actually your wealth, like people say, and that is the truth. And but the funny thing about this is that it's not like I was abusing myself or abusing my body. I wasn't. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't eat meat for over like 9 years now. I don't eat meat or anything like this. I don't eat dairy products. So my eating habits, my diet is I look after myself, But then it's obviously I don't know what's happened, but now I've kind of like been diagnosed with this, and I'm dealing with that. As we going along, like I used to be in the gym, like I was saying to you, I used to work out, used to do a lot of exercising, but now I can't really do as much as I used to. So that's kind of like something else that I had to factor in terms of how I work. So more so, I'm working a lot more smarter now, where before I would just burn myself to the ground, trying to help others or trying to help the community, But in the back of my mind now, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? For me to actually help out my community, it starts at home. It starts with the family. Like, do you understand? That's the highest level of help that I can actually offer the community. It's by it's by starting with my family, with my children, with my partner. Just get me, like, building them up, allowing them to understand what this whole thing is about. Do you understand? Like, and giving them that the just the support that they need, and being there for them. That's how I'm looking at things now. So I'm spending a lot more time with the family. I'm doing a lot more with them. I'm involved. I've always been involved. I've always been home with the family, but I'm just saying now it's like I'm paying attention to detail. If that makes sense. Like, I'm paying attention to the small things, and I'm present with them. Whereas in before, I might just be on the phone all the time, on the laptop. The kids are trying to talk to you, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do it in a minute. And you're trying to send emails and do you understand, speak to the community, speak to people, figure out what's happening here, figure out what's happening there, look at covering stories. Do you understand? Now I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to outsource all of that. I'm going to get someone else to deal with that. And I'm going to spend a lot more time with my family. I think that's like the highest form of a community service of a service to the community that I can do, is by leading by example, is looking after my family and then speaking about it, whereas other people can actually look at doing. So I think your health is very important. I think we need to definitely look at understanding and listening a lot more to our health, listening to or having insight about ourselves, spending time with ourselves, you know, researching, um, connecting spiritually, within yourself, taking time out to break away. And it's interesting that I've said the word break away, because the word decide, if you look at the root word of decide in Latin means to break away from. So when you decide to do something, you're actually breaking away from something. And if you look at the full meaning of disciples, it comes from decide, discipline. So it's like these words, you have to understand what they actually mean, To be disciplined, you have to break away from the masses, to decide. When you decide to do something, you have to break away from something. Do you understand? The disciples in the Bible, they broke away from the masses to follow Jesus. Do you understand? And that's the term disciples, Even Jesus broke away from the disciples to go and pray in the mountains. Do you understand? So sometimes you have to know, okay, cool, it's time to interact. But then for your spiritual alignment, for your spiritual growth, to connect with nature, you have to know, okay, cool, you know what? It's time for me to I have to bust out. Basically, like I have to keep it moving for a bit. I'm gonna be back, but right now I need to go and sort some things out. And I think that's kind of like maturity, you know. And we didn't have anyone teaching us that when we was young. You know, we were just kind of like all the man them, like I was saying in the block. You be in the blocks with the man them, and just you being in the blocks, something can happen, and that could just be it. It can be you that day. Do you understand? Whereas you could just be like, you know what, I can kind of foresee something happening in that situation. Let me not roll. Do you understand? And these are some of the things that I'm teaching my son as well. You have to be a leader. You can't follow. Do you understand? Just because everyone's doing that doesn't mean you have to do it. Do you get me? Like, people are going to hate you for it and be like, bro, how come you're not rolling? I don't want to roll. Like, I don't want to be there. That's not for me. Do you understand? So it's kind of like understanding that, yeah, man, you don't have to be everywhere. There's some places that you're better off not being at. Do you understand? And that adds value to yourself as well. Just like I'm saying with the whole deciding. Knowing when to say no is very important. And I think, again, the community, the kids in the community don't understand that concept, that when you say no, it's not a bad thing. It's you adding value to yourself. It's you just being like, I ain't on it. Nah, there's nothing wrong with that. Do you know what I'm saying? But then they'll be like, peer pressure. Someone could be like, yo, smoke this, bro. Nah, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's like, yo, smoke this. Nah, bro. I'm cool. All right, cool. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. That's the worst you're going to get. Whatever it is that someone's trying to offer you. All right, cool. You don't want it. That's cool. But then it sets a boundary. All right, cool. They know my man ain't like that. Like, it kind of stops things even reaching you before, like I'm saying with the vibrations, brother. It's like whatever you put out, do you get me? Like, do you understand? Like, if you put out good vibration would find you. Do you understand? If you put out a certain type of vibration, that vibration is gonna follow you, bro. And I think it's the same with the clothing. When you put out a certain type of vibration, certain people won't even try and bother you with some negativity because they know. I was wearing a jacket yesterday. Rastaman approached me, bro. He's like, yes, bro. They're like, yo, what's going on? He was like, yeah, man. Feeling the jacket still. And I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, man. He understood the symbols. So we had a conversation off that. And I was thinking to myself, you see it there, it's like, whatever you put out, you attract. And we had like a blessed conversation, bro. You know what I'm saying? But then whereas, and if it was someone like 19, 18-year-old that's wearing like an Adidas hoodie, that's got like the Adidas, do you understand? Standing in the blocks like this, he can be like a cool guy. Yeah. Not even about that life, but he's wearing that. Yeah. And if someone else that's in that block, he might be there to visit his nana. Yeah, but just because he's wearing clothes, it just gives off the wrong impression. It gives off the wrong impression, bro. And that impression you're giving off, you might not even know that people just drove past and they've seen you. Like, so you've already like what you're wearing has communicated that without you even knowing. Yeah. So what you wear actually is speaking. Do you understand? Like, it's vibrational, it's speaking without you even knowing. Like, you could speak and then someone's seen that and they're going to get what they're going to get to come back and do something to you. You're innocent, but your clothing has put you in a madness. Do you understand? And I think sometimes our community, we need to actually understand that, like, we have to be aware of how we cover our temples, man. We have to be aware of the type of energies that we put out.